So for check one in lab, you should be able to go through and kind of show us what the sequence of calls is. For any of these, you should be able to walk through and reason through the add, the multiply, the power functions. What we want to demonstrate with Power 6.8 is some of the limits of recursion. Python has a built-in limit on how deep you can recurse, because recursion takes resources and memory. So you will hit a if you do Power 6.8, you will hit, I think, a Python limit that was designed to not work. Basically, it's because you've put too much recursion in there. What's interesting to see, though, is depending on how you organize your calls. If you recurse on the bigger variable, your recursion stacks get longer. So the size of the values you can handle becomes smaller. If you recurse on the smaller item, your recursion stacks per item gets shorter, and you will actually be able to handle bigger calculations. So you should be able to look through that, make sure you can do the recursion, make sure you understand the recursion, and then make sure you can kind of reason through what's actually going on with with the rest of it. Other than that, talk to your TAs. I'm not sure what the question is about. What we expect is that you can demonstrate these things working, and that you can give some discussion about what's going on when you do the recursion. I think we asked you to walk through the recursive steps for add. Can you tell us what the recursion steps are? What's the values of the parameters at each level of the call? It should be a nice little short write-up. Is that answer the
Professor,
question?
I think the question specifically was whether they had to have a working version of Power that would work for 6.8.
No, Power 6.8 is intentionally supposed to fail, just because we want to make sure you guys understand what's going on there. It's a limitation.
Professor Turner.
Yeah.
Real quick on the same topic. For Power. So do we have to explain what the add function does and what the multiply function does in terms of like writing? Do we have to type it out?
So that's a good that's a good question to ask your TA what they expect from the lab notebook on this one. Let me see what the lab actually says. So, I mean,
Yeah, like
what I guess I'm not understanding the question. We want the sequence of calls for add 5.3. You can either instrument your code to put out every time you make the call what's being called, or you can write it. These are the sequence of calls that would be made.
okay, so I'd write that out. I think part of the confusion also came I don't know if it was just me, but part of the confusion came 6.8. That was never put. The Power 6.8 thing was never put in the checkpoint one, to complete checkpoint one. But I see it there. Yeah, now I see it. So now it makes sense.
Okay.
Okay. And then not going off this, do you know if T. Kinter will be on the final?
we are allowed to ask you questions about it, but we're not going to require you to write something this long. Look around. Look at the lecture exercise for things that we might ask you about TK Inter. Okay, so you don't have to know TK Inter. Yeah, this is lecture 22.
22.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, we're not going to ask you to write. You don't have to know how to generate a big program with TK Inter, but the basics you should know. And we can ask you some simple questions about, if you look at the lecture exercise, it asks you to trace through the flow or to tell us what's going to happen, or maybe we could give you a TK Inter program and ask you to write the main for it. Those kinds of things are in scope, but you don't have to know all of the TK Inter structure. We're not going to ask you to memorize the draw circle and all of those. Okay.
Okay, so I think that makes sense. I'll look over the lecture slides, the notes that you provide on Submittee, and then if I do have questions, I'll definitely put them in the discussion forum. Thank you.
Sounds good. Thanks, Sid. Okay.
Have a nice day. I was just listening to what he had to say.
Okay, cool. Well,
I don't think I'd be a stalker.
I have a quick question really quickly. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, and ask away.
Okay, great. For the exam, I was just not sure about one of the parts of it, and I asked a few people, but they weren't sure either. So for the PDF, I don't know if it clarified what's the ordering supposed to be for the customers, when we drop them off, and when we meet their start positions.
So I think
I just wasn't sure what the guidelines were.
Yeah, I think if you download that now, I think it's been made more clear. But they should come off in sorted order. They should always be printed in sorted order.
Oh, so was the PDF updated?
I think so. If not, I think the output files are updated at least.
Oh, so I saw is it not supposed to be for the first one 3-2 when they start?
Right. That's.
Oh, it's supposed to be 2-3.
Yep.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Yeah,
that makes more sense.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's been fixed. Let me verify that. Do you remember what file it was in?
I think it was exam 3 out 1.
Yeah.
I think I must still have the other file on mine that was the original.
Yeah. See, now it's 2-3.
Oh, great. Okay. Yeah, I thought for some reason that it had to. I was kind of trying to guess what it meant, so that I wrote a whole other portion, and then it was also.
Sorry about that.
Funny.
It sometimes happens that we are inconsistent.
No, that's okay. I should have checked to make sure that it wasn't updated again.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it's been updated. Okay.
Great. Thank you. I'll download that one.
All right, sounds good. And the just the Submittee output will be up today, so that's another place you can kind of you can kind of look for that as well, right? I mean,
Okay.
Once Submittee's up, you can run your stuff and see if there's any little errors like that are coming up.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome. Anyone else?
Sorry, Professor, can you hear me?
I can barely hear you. Can you?
Is it better now?
Marginally. You're just very low. It's clear. It's just low.
Did that change?
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah. Okay. So I do have a question about grading for homework 7.
Okay.
So I got points off for I got full point for the grading, auto grading part, but for the TA grading, I got points off for program structure, and it says that included docstring comment, imports, function, input, computation, output, and I just don't know what I did wrong, because pretty much the structure of my code, I didn't change anything in it, and then the previous homeworks, it's the same structure. and I never got this points off because of that.
So
Do you want me to share my screen and like show you how it looks like?
now I can pull it up. This is homework. So first off, we have different TAs grade different times, and they
Yep.
have different thresholds. So the first thing is probably to ask the specific TA why what they were taken off from. So there's so you can look at sending a regrade request in, or otherwise reaching out to the TA that graded it, because
Can I like send a regrade if I want to do that?
yeah, I think you can. I think
Okay,
they're still
okay.
open, but if not, let me know and we can get that opened up. But let me take a quick look. There's the possibility of two different things. The first possibility is that this person missed something that you had in there, in which case you should have gotten full credit. And the other possibility is that you got lucky the previous 6.
I mean, the only thing that is different is like I didn't use functions, but it didn't say that we had to use functions.
Oh, that's probably it then. I know that there was some discussion about, you're expected to use good
Yeah, and they
code
took
organization.
points off, like they took 4 points off each part.
That's good coding standards does require that you use functions, even if they're not explicitly called out. So let me just check and see what else I can see. Homework 7.
Yep.
My machine went to sleep. The other machine went to sleep during class, so it's being a little bit slow right now, but it'll be up in a second.
Okay.
Yeah, I would have preferred that they left you a comment to tell you what they were taken off for.
I mean, the only thing that they said is that this is a more program structure.
Yeah, I think they were looking for you to organize your code a little better.
I mean,
I've like commented each section like what it does and like what's the purpose of that.
Yeah, it's not. I don't think it's a comment thing. It's a not using functions and not organizing. But if you I'm going to agree with Chris, and I would go and talk to that specific. I think it was Zhang, Xiaoru Zhang.
Yeah.
It looks like the auto grade is still open. I think. I would ask him what he took off for, but that's that certainly looks to me like what he took off for.
I mean, was it really necessary to put functions in it? Because like there were no mentions of like using a function.
Well, again, that's part of.
That's why I didn't use.
I know, and that's part of the the good programming structures. But I think if you talk to him, he might give you some points back. If not, then I might come and talk to me if he doesn't give you a good reason, and you still are not satisfied. I'll take a look and decide whether it needs to. Okay.
And if like Kristen just said that I should request a regrade, how can I do that?
We'll go click into the gradable.
Mm-hmm.
and then
Gradables. Yep.
click
They're going
request a regrade. Isn't that right up there?
in homework 7.
Yeah. Let me see. I'm seeing whether it's still open.
It says they haven't started yet, I think, for homework 7.
There you go. They're started now.
I'll do that.
Okay.
I'll do
Thanks,
next.
Kristen.
So do you think I should talk to him first and then request a regrade, or
No, I would just
request
do.
a regrade?
I would just do the regrade.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, thank you.
I mean, that's why we have that system.
Thank you.
Okay. You're welcome.
Have a good day.
All right. Thank you. Same to you. Enjoy yourself. All right. Anybody else? All right. I am going to kill this then, I think.